president is more interested in giving that taxpayer money to trade schools, in programs, in state schools, where they are promoting American values, but most importantly, educating the next generation based on skills that we need in our economy and our society. Apprenticeships, electricians, plumbers. We need more of those in our country and less LGBTQ graduate majors from Harvard University.
Caroline Lively said that a couple of days ago. Meanwhile, the Frumpy Dump administration on the back end is phase pausing the Job Corps program, which offers those very apprenticeships, electricians, plumbers, welders, certified nurses assistants, shipbuilding, all of those things. They have those very programs, and the Frumpy Dump administration does not have any funding for the Job Corps program.
But today, Job Corps faces unprecedented challenges. The administration recommended zero funding for the program. And in March, the Department of Labor made a decision that stalled Job Corps by stopping admissions of new students. This decision has left thousands of young people ready to attend stranded.
How you doing? It's Uncle Scruff. Check this out. All right, let's see how we're gonna try and do this for real. Okay. This episode is about the Job Corps cut. How those cuts hurt people, especially youth and the marginalized communities, and the contradiction between advocating for trade school while slashing programs like Job Corps. Reveals political hypocrisy.
The mother of a Job Corps student similarly emotional about what will happen to the students left behind.
It's plenty of kids in that building who depend on that building that don't have nobody. Plenty of kids that don't have a parent or nobody in their family like me.
Nolan says she had to pick up her daughter from Job Corps without any notification from an official at the facility. She says the most painful part, never being allowed to help her child with her belongings.
To watch my baby bring all her belongings down with 4 other students who were residents here was heartbreaking. They done created a domino effect. Them kids in there, that aggression gonna come out some way, and all aggression don't come out in a healthy way.
It's crazy because I don't know how you're doing, but your liar in chief is kind of off the boards here. It's ridiculous. So this is Scruff Tough. I'm Uncle Scruff. The title of this is called Cuts That Cut Deep, the Job Corps Contradiction. So now, Job Corps has been a way for people to pull themselves up. So listen, what's going on, family? Let's get into it. It's your man, Uncle Scruff, back at it again with another episode. The Uncle Scruffy Podcast, brought to you by Get It Off Your Chest Media. We break it down and we talk about the things that matter. And I don't really talk about a lot of shit that matters, so we'll do this time. But anyway, today
we have some extremely serious news right now. The Trump administration is shutting down 99 Job Corps facilities around the country. And here's why this is important. These facilities, which many folks have actually emailed me about, provide vocational training for individuals between the ages of 16 to 24, providing them skills necessary to complete jobs across the United States. Now, the Department of Labor announced that they will be shutting down all 99 because it is a, quote, flawed system, without really providing much detail into why it's flawed. But a number of Americans will now be without critical training opportunities to work and provide work for everyday businesses. 99 of these locations will close by the end of June. So by the end of next month, a number of people will now be without these critical vocational training measures. And right now, not enough people are talking about it.
Ooh, we gotta talk about something that's been grinding my gears for a little while now, because Job Corps, more specifically, we're talking about the cuts to Job Corps and how the very people that claim to care about bringing back trade, they're getting these young folks into skilled trade work. Are they the same ones slashing the programs? I don't know how you can ask them to go and get a trade and slash the programs to get them there. But I digress. So, what do? This guy's talking out of both sides of his ass. And Pam Bondi's no better.
Caroline, yesterday the administration appears to have started dismantling the Consumer Product Safety Commission. This is the federal agency, an independent one that does recalls and is responsible for product safety. Does the administration not believe that it's important, to keep toys and cribs? I mean, you're a young mom, off of the market.
It's a federal agency within which branch? It's the executive branch. Who's the head of the executive branch? The President of the United States.
Created by Congress.
He has the right to fire people within the executive branch. It's a pretty simple answer. Francesca.
Now, let me give y'all some quick context for those who don't know Job Corps. It's a federally funded program that's been around since the 60s. It helps low-income young people, ages like 16 to 24, get real-life training. They learn how to do carpentry. They learn how to do electrical work. They learn how to do plumbing, welding, medical assisting, culinary arts, and more. It's totally free. It provides housing, meals, education, and a career training for a lot of young people, especially the people on the lower scale.
You know, when that orange motherfucker said that he was going to cut the Department of Education, no one ever thought about this low blow. So they just announced that they were shutting down Job Corps. Job Corps is not only beneficial to minorities, it's beneficial to white people too. You know, it's fucked up because you racist motherfuckers get on this app every day and you holler and tell black people that they need to go get a fucking job. And there's groups of young black people that are trying to better themselves so they can seek better employment. And you motherfuckers voted their chances away.
This is not only a shot. They got this whole thing turning around. Now, here's the kicker. Back in 2017, most people don't realize this, Donald Trump stood up on national TV talking about we need more trades. Isn't he saying the same thing now? College isn't for everybody. Not everybody wants to get a 4-year degree.
Hey y'all, watch me unpack at Job Corps because y'all president took away the program.
Is trying to slash Job Corps funding. In fact, 2019, back then, they proposed shutting down over a dozen Job Corps centers. Most of them are rural areas that serve the poor and the working class. Folks, that sounds like the MAGA area. They even wanted to cut Civilian Conservation Center. Those are the ones that train the youth to work in the places like the National Forest and
Isn't it
parks.
ironic that the enrollment into the military is going down and now Job Corps is getting axed? Yes, it just came out that Job Corps will be done on June 30th. Now, Job Corps was a program for young adults, mainly, underprivileged adults, no direction, don't know what they want to do. It gave them housing, great for, kids who face homelessness, free meals, and it gave them the opportunity to get a trade so that they could get a career and get ahead in life, right? And due to budget cuts, the program will be no more. This program has been around for years. And due to budget cuts by the Trump administration, the program is ending, right? And it's very ironic because military enrollment is down. And we already know that the military preys on underprivileged communities. They go to these high schools and, recruiters go to these high schools and sell these, kids a dream to get out of, the situation that they're in and to make a better life or whatever and get stuck in this commitment. And Job Corps was a freaking better, like a easier alternative, something that you don't have to commit 4 years to or however long, and it just seems very ironic because I feel like now a lot of kids who probably don't want to go to the military will go because they feel like that's what they have to do to, escape poverty. Very sad, but expected with this administration.
So let me get this straight. You say we need more people in trades, but, what'd you do? What'd you do? You cut one of the main federal programs that trains people for the trades.
President of the United States is fucking lying!
Okay, it's the classic political bait and switch. They talk a good game, they say what sounds right, but when it comes time to put the money where the mouth is, it's crickets. Or worse, they cut it. Like Social Security, Medicaid, things that he said he wouldn't touch. Let me tell you what these cuts really mean. Real people are hurting. I'm talking about 17-year-olds that are going to need summer jobs.
The real reason why they're probably shutting down the job corps is to sort of push more people into the military. Because if you kind of did your research, you know, nobody in Gen Z or the younger generation really wants to join the military. And it's really at an all-time low right now. And honestly, this whole situation is really messed up because, like, the whole reason for Job Corps was to sort of support, you know, people who are very impoverished, who don't get these opportunities. And when they finally do get an opportunity to sort of break the cycle, you know, of poverty their families have been in for probably generations, they just take that opportunity away from them and they say, hey, you guys are out of a job now. And it's not just one person, it's like 40,000 people plus that are out of jobs now, you know,
that need these skills. Who 17-year-olds that just aged out of foster care and they have nowhere to go. I'm talking about the single mom trying to learn a skill so she can stop working 2 of those 3 jobs she has. I'm talking about young men and young women who grew up in the neighborhood where opportunities don't knock unless you build the door yourself. Jobs Corps was that door. When you cut programs like this, you're not just cutting line items from the budget, you're cutting off lifelines. A lot of people used to raise up through blue collar jobs. You know what else gets me? These are the same folks that complain about crime, poverty, right? People not working. Didn't he just cut people off Section 8? Food stamps? But then you turn around and gut every program that's there to help people work, earn, contribute, pay taxes. If you really want to reduce crime and improve communities, you invest in opportunity. You invest in people. You teach them skills. You don't keep them away from knowledge. You invest in training. Because knowledge, you need it to put things in action. Listen, Jobs Corps ain't perfect. Nothing run by the government is. But it works. There are tens of thousands of people, electricians, nurses, chiefs, IT techs, who came up through that program. I know people. I went to school with them. They're out here raising families, paying taxes, building the country. You know, the roads, the electrical system in your house, the plumbing, all that stuff. They're the ones who keep this together. But now we got politicians playing games with their future. You're cutting the funding that will help, like you said, make America great. So here's my message to all y'all listening. Whether you're in Dutchess County, whether you're down in Georgia, over in New Paltz, in the Bronx, or out in the Bay Area, don't fall for the hype when these politicians start talking about trade schools and skilled labor. Ask them what they've actually funded. Talking commitments, whatever. They're where they stood when it came to the cuts in the Job Corps. Did you cut or did you fight so that it didn't get cut? While claiming they care, they probably went for the cuts. And if we don't hold them accountable,
The truth is, I think this whole administration has completely lost their fucking mind!
because you can't talk about opportunity out one side of your mouth and then cut off the programs that create opportunity from the other side. So listen, this is Uncle Scruff. Nobody likes this Job Corps cut. And it's always the people at the bottom. Yo, if you like this episode, you got anything out of it, please share, like, subscribe. And get down with the get down. You've been rocking with Uncle Scruff for the Scruff Tough Podcast. It's powered by Get It Off Your Chest Media. That's the parent family. Go check their channel out too. But you know, it's Uncle Scruff, your neighborhood truth teller. Always stay solid, stay sharp, stay speaking the truth, and always stay Scruff Tough.
Check out Get It Off Your Chest Media. They the best.